The cold steel of the M1 Garand stood as the silent sentinel of American freedom across the torn landscapes of Europe. Its rhythmic toot against the shoulder provided a reassuring cadence to the men who marched from Normandy to the Elbe. These were the tools of a generation that forged a new world through grit, grease, and unwavering mechanical precision. The bolt-action rifles were the traditional backbone of the army, bridging the gap between the Great War and the age of semi-automatic dominance. M1 Springfield, this legendary bolt-action rifle served as the primary infantry arm during the early Pacific campaigns before transitioning into its role as a precision sniper. M1 Springfield, featuring a distinctive Type C pistol grip, this variant improved ergonomics for marksmen who demanded superior control during long rangements in the Italian mountain. M1 Springfield, to meet the staggering demands of global war, this model uses stamped steel parts and receiver-mounted aperture size to accelerate massive factory production. M1 Sniper, built without iron sights to accommodate a Weaver or Redfield telescopic optic, this rifle became the primary tool for army snipers across the European theater. M1 Mach I, this specialized receiver featured a side ejection port designed specifically to function with the Pedersen device, briefly turning the bolt action into a submachine gun. M1 Lear Air Service, issued to early aviators. This shortened variant featured a fixed 25-round magazine to provide emergency firepower for air crews fought down behind enemy lines. M1 Bushmaster, developed for jungle operations in Panama, this rare carbine featured a drastically shortened barrel and stock for maneuverability in the thickest tropical undergrowth. M1 National Match, hand-selected for their exceptional accuracy, these Stargate rifles were the pinnacle of bolt-action engineering used primarily by allied competition teams and designated marksmen. M1 Enfield, originally a British design, this robust bolt-action rifle armored most American soldiers in 1970 and returned for secondary service and training throughout the Second Conflict. Winchester Model 70, although never officially adopted, a small number of these legendary sporting rifles was grounded by Marines for use as unofficial precision tools in the Pacific. Remington Model 76, intended as a high-end commercial rifle, the Navy diverted existing stocks of this bolt-action beauty for use as competition trophies and specialized guard duty. The semi-automatic revolution began with a single design that fundamentally altered the speed and lethality of the American infantry squad on the move. M1 Garand General Patton hailed this semi-automatic masterpiece as the greatest battle implement ever devised, giving every American GI a decisive advantage in fire volume. M1 Garand gas trap early production models featured a unique gas trap system at the muzzle, a mechanical relic that is now among the rarest prize for modern historical collectors. M1 Garand IHC poster stamp, manufactured by International Harvester, this variant is identified by a small square-shaped nomenclature stamp on the receiver here resembling a postal mark. M1 Garand IHC gap letter, a production anomaly from the Evansville plant. This rare version features a distinct physical gap between the manufacturer's name and the serial number block. M1 Garand IHC Arrowhead, collectors prize this rare International Harvester variation where the nomenclature label subtly forms the shape of a flint arrowhead on the receiver's steel heel. M1 Sniper, this factory-modified Garand featured a side-mounted Griffin and house scope base, allowing the shooter to reload with embossed clips while using a telescopic sight. M1 Sniper, utilizing a simpler barrel-mounted scope block, this Sniper variant allowed for the quick attachment of the mitre optic and became a staple for late-war precision team. M1 Garand, designed by John Garand himself, this experimental carbine featured a folding metal stock and an 18-inch barrel intended for the allied paratroopers of the airborne. 26 Tanker, often called the Tanker Garand, this field-modified short rifle was tested in the Philippines to provide tank crews with full-power rifle fire in confined space. 20 Select Fire, this experimental variant sought to replace the BR by adding a selector switch and a 20-round detachable magazine to the standard Garand gas-operated action. 22 Heavy Barrel, a further refinement of the Select Fire concept, this prototype featured a heavy profile barrel and a bipod to serve as a lightweight squad automatic weapon. Cthulhu Remington, developed by Remington engineers. This Select Fire Garand conversion utilized a unique magazine feed system and was tested extensively at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. Pure Pop, this radical departure from traditional design moved the Garand's action into the bus stock, creating an ultra-compact infantry rifle that was decades ahead of its time. M1 Garand set. Still in the post-war transition, many Garands were rechambered with chamber inserts to fire the new standard NATO run before the motor was fully ready. The light rifle program produced a nimble and lightweight weapon that became the most numerous American small arm of the anti-global conflict. M1 Carbine, weighing only 5 pounds, this lightweight semi-automatic became the standard sidearm for officers, radiomen, and support troops who required more range than a pistol. M1 Paratrooper, specifically engineered for the airborne. This iconic variant featured a side-folding wide stock that allowed paratroopers to jump with the weapon strapped to their leg. Mode carbine introduced late in the war, this select fire version provided the infantry with a high-capacity automatic capability by utilizing new 30-round curved banana-style magazines. Multi-infrared carbine, this high-tech marvel lacked iron sights and instead mounted a massive active infrared night vision scope for detecting Japanese infiltrators in total darkness. 3 Carbine, the developmental prototype for the night-fighting Mies. This rifle featured an intro mounting sail for the earliest versions of the snipperscope and snooperscope system. Inland Mud Carbine, as a division of General Motors, Inland produced over 2 million carbines, making the most prolific manufacturer of this lightweight and versatile infantry tool. Winchester Mud Carbine, the original designers of the carbine Winchester's production models are highly sought after for their historical connection to David Marshall Williams and the Tapper system. Rockola Mud Carbine, better known for making jukeboxes, this company adapted its woodworking and metal skills to produce some of the most beautifully finished carbines of the war. Quality Hardware Mud Carbine, this Kackable-based manufacturer utilized a diverse network of subcontractors to assemble thousands of carbines often identified by their unique machining marks and finishes. Underwood Mud Carbine, the famous typewriter company shifted its precision manufacturing lines to produce durable carbines that perform flawlessly from the Ardens to the Pacific Channel. National Postal Meter, this manufacturer proved the versatility of American industry by switching from office equipment to battle rifles, producing thousands of reliable carbines for the front line. Standard Products, based in Ohio, this automotive post supply contributed to the war effort by manufacturing high-quality carbines that met the Army's most stringent Ordnance Department standards. Support weapons provided the heavy volume of fire necessary to pin the enemy down while the riflemen moved in for the final assault. Maninier T. Browning automatic rifle, originally designed for the trenches of France, this powerful automatic rifle delivered the heavy punch of the 30-06 round in a portable squad pack. Maninier T-1B, this transitional model added a likewise spike bipod to the gas cylinder, attempting to improve the weapon's accuracy when firing from a prone defensive position. Maninier TA-2BR, the definitive World War High version, this model replaced the semi-automatic setting with 2 rays of full pneumatic fire to better serve as squad-like machine gun. Maninier Eta backlight stop, to conserve critical warners supplies during the war's peak, many BRs were fitted with durable black plastic stocks made from resinos and synthetic resins. Maninier 1 Johnson rifle, this unique semi-automatic featured a recoiling barrel and a 10-round rotary magazine that could be topped off with 5-round clips while the bolt was closed. Maninier Johnson MG, often used by the 1st Special Service Force, this lightweight automatic weapon shared the rotary magazine design and provided exceptional firepower for commando race. During the millions of men entering the service, the Army utilized a wide array of sub-caliber rifles to teach the fundamentals of marksmanship. M92 Springfield Trainer, this high-quality bolt-action rifle chambered in 22 long rifle allowed recruits to practice the same bolt manipulation and sight picture as the service rifle. Manant Sentiment Springfield, an improved version of the original Trainer, this model featured a refined bolt design and adjustable alignment size to help soldiers master the art of long-range shooting. Manant 2 Springfield, the final evolution of the Springfield Trainer, this rifle became the standard for military marksmanship programs and remains one of the finest rimfire rifles ever produced. Mossberg US, as a wartime cost-cutting measure, the Army adopted this simple and accurate bolt-action rimfire to replace the expensive Springfield models for basic marksmanship training. Mossberg 40 B, originally intended for British Lend-Lease, many of these target rifles were diverted to American units to provide a reliable and accurate platform for training recruits. Remington 50T Matchmaster, this heavy-barrel target rifle was a favorite of the Army's competitive shooting teams and was used extensively to train advanced marksmen and future snipers. Stevens Forces 2, known for its heavy target barrel and precision size, this bolt-action trainer widely issued to Army and Navy training centers throughout the duration of the war. Winchester Model Senfus, a civilian-style target rifle adopted for military use, this model provided a lightweight and accurate alternative for teaching the basic principles of sight alignment and trigger squeeze. Remington Fideus Coremaster, while less common than the Matchmaster, this magazine-fed bolt-action saw limited use in Army training programs as supplemental marksmanship tool for new induct. Winchester Winter Musket, a relic from the early 20th century, these single-shot training rifles were still found in some Army reserve stocks at the beginning of the Second War. Alpha Thompson Maninier, this engineer's conversion utilized sub-caliber adapters shaped like 30-06 rounds to allow soldiers to fire 22 short cartridges through a standard Springfield rifle. The transition from bolt-action to semi-automatic fire was facilitated by a massive logistical effort and a constant stream of engineering improvements. M1 Garand early gas port, after moving away from the gas trap, the Army standardized on a gas port drill into the barrel, significantly improving the rifle's reliability in muddy condition. M1 Garand lock bar size. Early wartime Garands featured a distinctive locking bar on the wrist side to prevent the zero from shifting under the heavy recoil of combat. M1 Garand flush noose size. Before the lock bar was introduced, early rifles used a simple flush-fitting noose that proved difficult for soldiers to adjust with cold or muddy fingers. M1 Garand TT prototype. This humble experimental model was the direct ancestor of the Garand we know today, passing the grueling 1931 trials that led to its adoption. M1 Garand M1 Feed. This early variant tested a modified cam angle in the operating rod to reduce mechanical stress, a small but vital step in perfecting the action's longevity. M1 Garand M1 Engineers added a small roller to the ball scam loop in this prototype, a design feature that would eventually become standard on the post-war material rifle. M1 Garand M1 Fear. This experimental model featured a gas cutoff and expansion system designed to smooth out the violent cycle of the gas-operated action during rapid fire. M1 Garand M1 Similar to the M1 Fear, this variant separated the gas piston from the operating rod to determine if a multi-piece system would be more reliable in combat. M1 Garand M1 Sense. This rare experimental model utilized a direct gas impingement system similar to the Linjolman rifle, exploring alternations to the traditional piston-driven design of John Garand. M1 Garand M1 Wounds. Testing a short-stroke taper system like that found on the M1 carbine, this rifle sought to reduce the reciprocating mass of the heavy Garand operating rod. M1 Garand M1 Entendus variant. The gas port was moved significantly further back on the barrel to test how gas pressure affected timing of the extraction cycle. M1 Garand M1 Even Seas. This model explored the Y-gas system, which used a unique expansion chamber to provide a more consistent and gentle push to the operating rod assembly. M1 Garand M1 Forcer. To prepare for the future, this Garand was rechambered for the experimental CSF cartridge, the ballistics of which would eventually define the 7.62 NATO round. Tinian Select Fire. This second version of the Select Fire Garand introduced a unique magazine design that was not compatible with the BR, seeking to optimize the feeding cycle. Two-string Garand featuring a radical upward angle stock to combat muzzle glim. This experimental model was intended to make the rifle more controllable during rapid semi-automatic fire. Q2 experimental. This prototype moved the Garand Action to a modern-looking stock with a pistol rib chamber for the short specific cartridge that would replace the 30L6. Q7 Select Firefield Kit. Remington developed this kit to allow ordnance units to quickly convert standard infantry Garands into select fire rifles while stationed at frontline repair depots. PW Short Rifle. The Pacific War Board requested this shortened Garand with an 18-inch barrel, producing 150 units for use in the dense jungles of the Pacific Islands. TT Experimental. During the 1931 trials, this single prototype broke its bolt under heavy pressure, leading to the redesign and much stronger bolt used in production model. Winchester M1 Garand Win1T. A late-war production run by Winchester, these rifles are highly prized by collectors for their distinctive machining marks and unique serial number block. Springfield M1 Garand National Match. Post-war Springfield production included these precision-built rifles with glass-bedded stocks and hand-fitted parts for the world's most elite military shooting competition. Henry M1 Garand, produced during the Korean War. Harrington and Richardson's rifles represented the final peak of Garand manufacturing, utilizing the most advanced metallurgy and quality control. International Harvester M1 Garand. Built in a tractor factory, these rifles proved that American industrial flexibility could produce a precision battle rifle that met every rigorous military standard. M1 Carbine T's prototype. This hand-built Winchester model was locally assembled in only 13 days to meet the Army's urgent requirement for a new light infantry support weapon. M1 Carbine 2 prototype. Refining the initial design, T2 added a magazine release and a more robust safety, moving the project closer to the final production specification. M1 Carbine 2 prototype. This final developmental model was used for the official Army trials, proving that the short-stroke piston system was reliable enough for global combat service. M1 Carbine Adjustable Size. Late-war carbines were upgraded from simple flip size to a sliding ram design that allowed the soldier to compensate for windage and elevation in the field. M1 Carbine Bayonet Look. Although originally issued without a bayonet, late-war production carbines were fitted with a barrel band look to accommodate the pneuma for bayonet knife. M1 Carbine Rotary Safety. To prevent soldiers from accidentally dropping their magazines while engaging the safety, the Army replaced the original pulse button with a rotating lever design.